Somewhere in your town today, a customer asked AI who to call, and the answer was three names with reasons. I'm Corey, founder of Neuron HQ. Here's the question that decides whether your phone rings. Can customers find your business when they ask ChatGPT? There's a 5-minute way to know.
Here is the question that decides whether your phone rings this year. If a customer asks ChatGPT, Gemini, or Perplexity who to call for what you do, does your business get named? Not ranked, named, out loud, in a short list of 2 or 3. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how to check that for yourself in real time, and then exactly what to do once you know the answer. The short answer up front. You check it by asking ChatGPT, Perplexity, Google Gemini, and Claude the exact questions a buyer would ask about your service and your city, and reading back whether your business gets named. You do it on all 4, not just one, because which engine names you swings wildly, and I'll show you the real spread in a minute. Improving it, once you know the gaps, comes down to 5 fixable things, none of which require writing new content so much as restructuring what you already have. First, let's define the term, because it's not the same thing as ranking. AI search visibility is whether ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini, and Claude name your business when someone asks a buying question in your category. Google ranking gives you 10 blue links to compete for. An AI answer usually names 2 or 3 businesses total. Being named is a lot closer to being personally recommended than to being listed on page 1. And it matters because of where the questions already are. A September 2025 NBER working paper analyzing 1.1 million ChatGPT conversations found that practical guidance, seeking information, and writing are the 3 most common reasons people open ChatGPT, together almost 80% of every conversation. Someone typing "best plumber near me" or "who should I hire to redo my website" is squarely inside that 80%, whether or not they'd call it a search. So how do you actually find out where you stand? Here's the exact method. Open each engine in a fresh, signed out, or private window and ask the same 3 to 5 questions a real buyer would type, never your own business name. Best your service in your city and why? Who should I hire for your service? Is this specific competitor good? And who else should I consider? Read the full answer and note 3 things every time. Did it name you? Did it name a competitor instead? And did it name a specific source? That last one is the whole game. The competitor list an AI gives you back is the single most useful output of the exercise because it tells you exactly who to study and exactly where they're getting cited from. A first pass across 4 engines and 5 questions takes about 20 to 30 minutes. The hard part isn't the first check, it's remembering to run it again next week, once retrieval has quietly shifted underneath you again. And here's why you can't just check one engine and call it done. An April 2026 audit of 518 businesses found mention rates swinging from 36.7% on Perplexity all the way down to 3.6% on Claude. A business that looks strong on one engine can be a ghost on another. Now let me show you what a real check actually looks like, because I ran one on my own business today, and I'm not going to clean it up. On August 21st, 2026, we ran Neuron HQ's own visibility tool against neuron-hq.com. The result? 35 out of 100. Grade F. Banded, quote, invisible. AI is recommending someone else. That is the honest, current state of our own AI visibility on our own core buyer questions right now. Not a client's, ours. Broken down by engine, it's 0 for 0 across the board. ChatGPT named 0 of 3 queries and named Omni SEO, Monic AI Systems, and AppWT Web and AI Solutions instead. Perplexity named 0 of 1 completed query and named 8 different agencies instead, from First Page Sage to WebFX. Gemini gave detailed agency overviews and named no one specifically, us included. And Claude named 0 of 3, naming Toxu Digital, Digital Elevator, Intero Digital, WebFX, and BirdEye instead. Notice what a real check gives you that a plain yes or no doesn't. It names names. It's not enough to know you weren't mentioned. The useful output is exactly who was mentioned instead, because that list is your actual gap analysis and your outreach target list in the same breath. We're leading with our own ugly number instead of a client's win, because it's the one score we can show you without asking you to trust a testimonial. And the fix is already underway. We'll report the next scan honestly, whichever way it moves. If that number stung, here's the context that should make you feel better, not worse. Invisibility is the default, not the exception. Surfio's AI Visibility Report, published April 8, 2026, ran real commercial prompts against 518 businesses across 20 countries on the same 4 engines above, and found 91% of businesses practically invisible to AI, with an average score of just 38 out of 100. Over half, 56.6%, scored below 40. And notice something else. Claude's mention rate industry-wide was 3.6%, the lowest of the 4. Our own score on Claude was 0. That match is a useful sanity check. It tells us our number isn't a broken tool or an unlucky day. It's consistent with the whole industry's data. If your first check comes back at 0, you are statistically the norm, not the exception, and there is real room to move. Before we get to fixes, one more thing a good check should actually measure, beyond a yes or a no. A single "were we mentioned" answer hides where the problem actually is. A useful check breaks the result into 3 layers. Presence. Did any engine name you this week on your real buyer questions? Entity clarity. Does the engine even have a clean, consistent understanding of who you are, your name, category, and location, separate from whether it chose to cite you? And technical readiness. Can AI crawlers actually reach and read your site at all? Which is binary and fixable in a day, so it should never be the reason you're invisible. Now the part you actually came for. Once you know the gaps, what moves the number? 5 things ranked by leverage. 1. Technical crawlability. Confirm GPT bot, Perplexity bot, Google Extended, and Claude's crawler aren't blocked, and that your key facts render in the raw HTML, not only after JavaScript runs. 2. Entity consistency. The same business name, address, and category, character for character, across your site, your Google business profile, and every directory listing. 3. Authorship and authority. Dedicate your blog to each industry with clear bylines, and embedded images are a sustainable bet on AI. 4. Internal linking. Think of every internal link as a 4-finger signal. Pass link equity to the core pages of your business. 5. Off-site context. Connect your URL to entities in the knowledge graph. Partner with brands. Link with industry experts. 3. Answer first content. Rewrite your key pages so the first 2 or 3 sentences under each heading fully answer the question, with a real number or source attached. 4. Third-party citation surfaces. Get named on the specific directories, review platforms, and trade press the engines already cite for your category, not a generic top 25 list. And 5. Freshness. Keep a visible, real, last updated date and current facts, because stale numbers are one of the fastest ways a page gets quietly passed over. Notice what's missing from that list. None of it is a new content calendar. It's restructuring and placing what you already have. Start with the first 2, crawlability and entity consistency, since both are binary and fixable in a day, before you spend a single hour rewriting content an AI crawler couldn't even reach in the first place. One more practical question. How often should you actually recheck? Weekly is the right cadence, for 2 reasons. A real citation shift typically takes about a week to show up after you make a change, So checking daily mostly buys you noise, not signal. And each engine's retrieval behavior keeps shifting on its own, regardless of anything you do. So checking once or twice a year means you're navigating with a stale map most of the time. A dated weekly log is also what turns "did that one answer change" into an actual trend line you can act on. Last practical question. Can you do all of this yourself, or does it need to be done for you? You can do the checking and the on page fixes yourself. None of it is proprietary. What gets hard is the recurring discipline and the third party placement work. A weekly 4-engine check by hand is 20 to 30 minutes, and it's easy to skip some weeks. The competitor list has to be read and noted manually every single time. On-page answer first rewrites you can absolutely do yourself with the checklist from this video. But third-party directory and entity placements are time-consuming and outreach-heavy, which is exactly the part most businesses eventually pay someone for. So where does Neuron HQ actually fit into all of this? We run the exact check described in this video automatically every week across ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini, and Claude, and show you the score trend, exactly who's cited instead of you, question by question, and a fix list written in your own voice instead of generic advice. Our self-serve plan is entity and directory setup done for you at sign-up. Our Done For You plan adds ongoing entity and directory placements, long-form video, social, and a monthly citation report. So nothing here depends on you remembering to run the check next week. So here's where this lands. Whether ChatGPT, Gemini, and Perplexity name your business or name a competitor instead is a knowable answer today for free. Run the exact method from this video by hand. 5 to 10 buyer questions, 4 engines, 20 to 30 minutes. It genuinely works. Or run our free tool. Tell it your business and your city, and we'll show you the same kind of score breakdown you just watched us run on ourselves. Which engines already name you, which name a competitor, and the specific fix list to close the gap. No card, no commitment. At neuron-hq.com/free-AI-check. Because whichever way you run it, you deserve to know whose name.
Run the check yourself in 5 minutes. Or let us do it free. We ask the real question and email you the real answer, word for word. It's at neuron-hq.com/free-AI-check. Thanks for watching.